Well, I've been looking at these for a while, and I finally broke down. I have two other chainsaws, but the Husqvarna is the better saw of the two, needs service. And I need chains. I got two chains coming in the mail actually for the Poolin Pro. Got a Poolin Pro 18-inch. It's not a bad saw. It's kind of a disappointment in that it's not that strong. It's not nearly as strong as the Husqvarna, which is on the surface almost the same thing, being of similar mechanics and all. But it's just a lot more powerful. It's got a better carburetor. It's more power all the way around. So the one box has a charger. It's a little different than my other charger that I got with my pole saw. And this is a bigger battery than the pole saw has. Same voltage though, I can interchange them and use it briefly. Put this on the pole saw, but it'll be off balance. But they should interchange. And that's my big old battery. Still gotta figure out how to take this case apart. This case is kind of an origami project. You gotta figure out which side will flap down. I think this side will flap down next, actually. I don't know. I gotta look at the manual. Fortunately, the manuals go in a pocket in the side here, which I noticed. So, RTFM. And the manual does not cover the case. The case has got hinges in it. A hinge here. Hinge at the bottom, too. So I should be able to flatten the case right out. I need to free the scabbard. Pop it out. There we go. So it's all going to pop together at some point, but I got popped apart enough. I could pop these other parts flat too, I guess. Alright. Well, I'm going to charge the battery, fill up the oil for the chain, and come back. Two airplanes and my neighbor's leaf blower. Got another neighbor addicted to his leaf blower. 4 or 5 hours he'll go on that damn thing. I've got a leaf blower too, but I use a rake. It's so much quicker. Anyway, this tree is really hard. I don't know what it is. It looked kind of rotted. It is kind of rotted. But the wood itself is very hard. It's really tough to split. So I winged into it here and cut real deep, real quick. The wonders of a sharp chain blade is most of it. It did start to bog down towards the bottom of it, which is what I wanted to see because my Poolin Pro has trouble getting through this tree without bogging down. And this bogged down a little too. Oops, sorry, tree. She'll cut right through the meat of it, no problem at all. A lot easier than actually it's more powerful than my Poolin Pro. Well, it's more powerful than my Husqvarna. I don't know, it's supposed to be about equal. And I'll have to knock that down from a distance, but pretty darn powerful. Pretty good cutting. Go to a more normal tree. Well, she's plenty powerful. I cut this X into this pretty quickly. Quicker than my Poolin, obviously, and quicker than my... It's kind of hard to judge because this is a sharp chain, of course. Yeah, she's powerful. I'm questioning the oil delivery a little bit. I gotta adjust the chain already, I see. I'm just gonna run it and see how much oil it spits out. Seems a little bit stingy on the oil. It is oiling though. A little bit stingy. Of course, it's only in the high 40s right now. It's not even 50. So, temper that too. The battery was warm. I charged it in the house. But the oil is cold, of course. The chain oil. And it's a little safety. You gotta pull this back. You gotta keep this thing pushed back. It's real easy to bump it. And the saw won't work. That's pretty darn quick. This is not a rotten tree. It's that other saw was bogging in this a little bit. Wow, that's pretty good. I think my Husqvarna is a 52cc. This is supposed to be equivalent to a 52cc. It's very much equivalent in power to my Husqvarna. And more powerful than my Poulan Pro. By a good measure. Some crazy cuts in this tree. That's pretty powerful. That's definitely more powerful than my Poulan, or more powerful than my Husqvarna even, really. I always carve X's into my trunks, make them rot faster. Helps them rot faster. Well, she's starting to slow down a little bit. I'm down to one light in the battery. Still usable. Still cut a little more. But man, I never thought this thing would go this far. I did a lot of cutting on one battery. All this done. Plus I mucked around a little bit with that big tree on the way in here. And I did a couple cuts over here too. And it's still not totally dead. Unfortunately, I am. This would be about 2 tanks of gas on one of my gas saws to get all this done. This would be 2 tanks easy, and I'm still not totally dead. So in the mornings when it's nice, or nice enough anyway, I come out here and split some wood. So it was my goal to come out here and get some rounds cut up so I could do some splitting the next few days. And I more than succeeded at that task. I've got a ton to split now. I wish I would have bought this saw a year ago, frankly. Instead of battling with my other saw, which has been having trouble. My Husqvarna needs some service in a big way. And my Poulan is nice, but it doesn't restart very well when it's hot. That's kind of a classic problem with cheaper chainsaws. They don't like to run again when they're hot. There's the old Poulan. Here's my other cutting site. So I got plenty to do. And this tree I'll wrench down. I got that big log jack, or what do they call the thing? So I can keep some distance away from the thing and get some leverage on it. Yank the 3 off of this and let it fall. And run. And I use this big guy to pull some of these things down. My big old hook here. Glad I bought a good one, not a cheap one. And I still have standing tree here. Wow, I never saw that big nest up on top. Holy crap. Huge bee nest. Wasps or hornets or whatever, paper wasp. Anyway, this thing's standing about vertical. It's small enough now that I can let the weather take it down maybe. Or I can put a rope on it, walk off a distance and pull it down. It's not so big and scary anymore after I've sliced 3 at a time off of the thing. Of course, it started all the way back here at this stump, so you can see how much it's traveled. So it's a nice saw. I was really hesitant to buy an electric saw because I used an Ego, which I was told was the best brand. That's kind of handy too. That's very handy. And you can even hang it. Very cool. Lots of nice features. So after borrowing my brother-in-law's Ego, which wasn't very impressive, I decided to go full tilt, the biggest Ryobi I could, because I already have a Ryobi pole saw. And it's got a 2 amp 40 volt battery, so I'm already in that family. I'm more than impressed with this guy. It's faster than even my big Husqvarna would be, especially when you don't mess with gasoline or mixing it up, and not stinking of gasoline when you go inside after using the thing for a tank or two. That stink in your clothes, you know, so you got to put different clothes on. I really wish I had done this earlier. It's a bigger difference than I thought it would be. It's faster. I could have got a lot more done this summer if I had this saw. It's just fast. No effing around. You just go. Then I went and cut this pile up a little bit. Thought I'd kill the thing. But I still didn't run it out. Still going. Unfortunately, I'm run out. It outlasted me. I'm going in for some breakfast. Safety-wise, it's a big improvement too. It's really easy to bump this. Almost too easy. I had to turn it back on a few times, but that's a good safety issue. The other thing is that when you let go of the trigger, it just stops. And you don't leave it idling, you know. It's not there idling to be stepped on or hurt anybody. When it's off, it's off. When it's on, it's on. Cuts good and fast. There's no warm up. It's always at 100% till the battery's low. And even with the battery low, 1 dot, I still cut a whole bunch more. And I could still cut more. So safer in a lot of ways. Less stinky. You don't go back in the house stinking of oil. Quieter. I did wear earplugs because I'm a wimp about that, but I sure didn't need to as badly. So these saws are pretty equivalent. I believe the Husqvarna is a 52 cc. I'm not sure. This is supposed to be equivalent to a 52 cc. It's at least as powerful as the Husqvarna. Of course, my Husqvarna is pretty old at this point. It is longer by a good, 4 or 5 inches. So I don't know if that's a big problem or not. Weight wise, it's heavier. Not by a whole lot. Of course, Husqvarna's out of gas, but that's not going to weigh too much. And it's definitely heavier, definitely longer. And this bathroom scale was exiled from the house because it's not totally accurate. But I get about, I'll say 18. 17 and a half, 18. And I get about 14. So that's significant. You know, about 3 pounds heavier and longer. So those are the drawbacks. But safer, easier, quicker, probably a little more powerful, at least at this point. And I don't stink a 2-cycle oil. Although some people like that, I guess. I did a review on this polesaw earlier. Still surviving, of course. But that's the 2 amp hour battery. And that's the 8 amp hour battery that came with the saw. However, if I needed to, if I was almost done with my job and I needed to finish up, I can slap this baby in. I'd have a lighter weight chainsaw. Still about 16 pounds. There was a little bit of dust collected around the battery and in the battery slot, so I'm going to watch that. I also need to see how it collects on the inside. It looks like not too bad. It looks like you can get to it pretty easily. I don't know if I can see in there with my camera or not. Probably not. Not bad. It's kind of nice that it doesn't have a lip on the bottom to hold dust like my Husqvarna kind of does. So it's not bad design. And I went through about half my oil. I guess the oil's a little bit slight. I'll see if that's adjustable. I'd like to know if it has a real oil pump or not too. Things I'd like to figure out. Does it have a real oil pump? And it's a little bit stingy in the oil. Could have used a little bit more bar oil, although I guess it's enough. Pretty heavy duty charger. Has a fan in it. Of course, never charge on anything like a mattress or a couch or fabric of any sort. Really, you should have it on something inflammable. Not really overkill to throw it on top of the stove or do it outside or in the garage. Away from flammable things in general for any rechargeable. Just good practice. I have had a DeWalt burn up on me in my living room in my old house. Lucky nothing came of that, but not good. Charge on metal surface if you can.